There's an art and science to how you speak, how much to speak. This is where the real game of negotiation is. This is where the power plays a role. When it comes to the mind game of negotiation, very few learn the science behind it. The moment you prepare your mind for those circumstances, for those possibilities, you're in a good place. We learn so we can become better prepared. So we equip ourselves of what's coming in the negotiation while we are doing the negotiation. To learn about the other person, our negotiation partner. Because information is the key to your success in the negotiation. Your first objective should be to let them speak and for you to learn. So now next question is, how do you learn? Listen like your life depends upon it. That's what I mean by listening. Don't listen to disagree with the party. Listen to learn with a curious mind. So there are two components of listening. I'm going to divide them up into Western listening and Eastern listening. Under Western listening, I'll call this employ active listening techniques. Something simple. Please tell me more. Paraphrasing the other party. Asking curiosity-based question, open-ended questions. Those are active listening techniques. But I also want to talk to you about Eastern wisdom on listening. First, I want you to listen in silence. Practice 30 to 45 second silence. It's very difficult to employ. When you employ it, the other party feels the need to speak, the urge to fill the gap. Second part would be managing your own thoughts and reactions. Third part will be to get good rest. Be mentally prepared, be physically prepared. Come into negotiation with less stress of your own. Let's take a quick case example. Now folks, people want to be heard. Mediation, as you know, is the art of facilitating a dispute between two or more parties. So I've mediated cases where people have taken anywhere from an hour to 2 hours to just talk to me, to be heard. And sometimes I ask them questions, I speak 5, 6, 10 times during those 2 hours. But that, to me, is the most important part of my mediation practice, is where I connect with people, where I'm with them, where I give them my mind, my heart, my presence. And magic happens. After the 2 hours, I've built some kind of rapport with them. I've built trust with them. They are relieved. They are with me. I can then push them, persuade them onto next stage. Let's make it practical, less ideal. Now you won't have time to give 100% in listening every time, unless, let's say, it's a crisis negotiation. So what do? My tip, manage your expectations. You manage your expectation and that of the other party. I'll give you an example, a practical study. Travel. When you travel through airports, I want you to think of this. What's your own expectations as you travel? A lot of your misery is in the fact that you expect everything to go well. When you're flying, just expect things to go bad. Your flight may be delayed, there may be traffic jam, you may land at a different place, the baggage may be lost. As soon as you lower those expectations, you're in a better spot. So lesson here is lower your expectations from the process, even from the other party. I do want you to put higher expectations on yourself. You will perform better if you expect better results from yourself. This is not a time to be humble. This is a time to be confident. Now remember, negotiation has both confidence and humility. Humility, bring it to yourself before the start of negotiation. How much you know, how much you can bring to the table, and how much you need to learn. When you're at the table, keep humility in terms of learning from the other side. But when it comes to your practicing your skills, you have to show confidence. So in summary, to me, when it comes to the mind game of negotiation, you always have a choice. The choice is that you can be either a competitive negotiator or a collaborative problem solver. Now friends, you need both skills. Why? Because we live in a world where people are of both kinds. People who want to work with you and be nice to you, who become collaborative, and people who are the opposite. And they want to bully you. They want to exploit the situation. And in those circumstances, if you are collaborative, it may be seen as a sign of weakness. Let's get to some core benefits of collaborative problem solving. A. Relationship with the other party. This is one place, one way, one style of negotiation where you can keep the relationship with the other party. You walk out and the other party wants to talk to you. An example of a loved one. You compete with a loved one and the loved one doesn't like you. There may be no speaking for a few days. Whereas you collaborate, you talk, you're in a good spot. When I mediate between couples, when I mediate between business partners, I'm looking to start that collaborative problem solving. The moment either side starts that, I'm in a good zone as a mediator because I know they're moving towards relationship building. If you are collaborating, your stress level is low. You are thinking outside the box. You are being more creative. And two people can put their minds together and come to some amazing results because they know what they care about. It is their need to come to an agreement. And if they listen to each other, they work with each other, and they do problem solving jointly, they will come to results that can last a long time. When you're collaborating, you're also empathetic. You're compassionate. You open up that heart valve where you look at the party not just as another human being, but as a human being who is interacting with you, who has needs and who needs to be understood, who needs to be told, I'm hearing you, who needs to be told, I'm with you, who needs to be told, I am sorry. That's where management of emotions come. It's a natural process where you work with somebody else, somebody different, somebody distinct than you are. Still, you build a bond. Why? Because you're collaborating with that person. Even while negotiating, you're collaborating. Your tone, your approach, your style is to include that person in the conversation, not to exclude, not to compete. It also gives them more confidence. You open up, you can be more vulnerable in collaboration. You can say, I'm feeling low today. You may not say that in a competitive environment because again, that would be taken as a sign of weakness by the other party. Collaborative negotiation also gives you a different perspective, not only about the other party, but also about the situation you're involved in. Take it this way. If you are collaborating, your mind is opened up to two possibilities. A story that the other party is telling you that you need to hear, recap, connect to, understand, learn from, but also the overall vision. Where do you fit in? Where does your narrative fit in that story? And that is critical for your success as a negotiator. You need to see both sides, not just one side. What can you do to collaborate further? What can you do to respond to what you hear from the other side? And collaborative problem solving helps you with that. That mindset helps you with that. Lastly, it provides you with an opportunity for a balanced approach. You're collaborating, you can always go back and compete. I'm being nice to you, I'm being empathetic to you, I'm listening to you, I'm recapping, I'm looping, I'm paraphrasing, and I'm with you. And you're not doing any of this. You are being mean to me, you're being bully to me. Nothing stops me from taking a pause at that moment and come back to you, and you know what to do? And tell you, is this how we're going to negotiate today? I'm negotiating in a good faith. Now, will you change your behavior, sir, ma'am? Or are we done? That is one stance some of us need to take, those of us who are born collaborators, to bring out what I call assertive negotiation behavior. You need both, my friends. You need to know how to be assertive when time comes. Assertive, strict. And you need to be how to be soft at your heart, in your voice, in your mind. There's a desire to save face. So it's a critical part of negotiations world over. In one negotiation, I had to remind a party that the party has to come to the negotiation table. Now, if he doesn't come to the negotiation table, his whole persona, the public face that he's a generous philanthropist, is at stake because people are questioning the very value he's portraying to society. The moment I questioned that part about his story, he quickly decided to come to the negotiation table. And we went on to have a successful negotiation with the other side. Let me give you an external example, an international example, a case study out of South and North Korea from 2013. Now, many of you know the negotiation broke down precisely because of a spat over a delegate that South Korea appointed, which was not of the highest designation. North Korea pulled out last minute, leaving both nations at a disadvantage. Now, if you were open to collaborative problem solving, they would not have gone there. They saw one tactic by one negotiation party as a disadvantage and as a spat at the face and as losing face value. You need to receive information well because you need to build trust and good faith in the negotiation. Receiving information well is the key to us establishing trust. In the beginning of negotiation, when you ask questions, you're listening in, you're taking notes down, you're building a bank, a trust bank with the other party. You can always go back and use some of that trust that you built with them. A famous mediator, Jim Craven, out of Washington, Spokane, Washington, who worked with us, speaks about trust bank almost every time he speaks. He says his whole practice is based on building trust with the parties in the beginning. Another mediator out of JAMS, as a company in San Francisco, a very famous commercial mediator, says it differently. He says, the first part of mediation is my most important part. Because that's when I'm building trust. That's when I'm listening in. That's when I'm trying to get to know parties. And more importantly, giving them time to get to know me. After I'm done with that phase of mediation, everything else is easy. A third mediator out of LA, a famous commercial mediator. Now she says it slightly differently, but same point. She says, if I can stick with parties till 2 p.m. in a day, I know I'm going to be successful. Negotiation is an art and science. You have to practice negotiation. Let me conclude by telling you 3 tips. I want you to be uncomfortable in your negotiation scenarios. The way to improve is to get out of your comfort zone. Practice something new. Number 2, observe what is happening within you when you're negotiating. Are you comfortable with competitive style? Are you comfortable with the collaborative style? If you're too comfortable with the collaborative style, do you have to switch to competitive? Can you do it? And if not, why not? What's the fear? And number 3, always take negotiation as a flexible process. Go in with a plan, but the plan can change. Go in with plan B, go in with plan C. Have the courage to walk away if you need to. Sometimes that's part of negotiation. Not showing up is also part of negotiation. Thank you.